Thank you so much for joining us this Saturday afternoon. Theater of Arts is hosting this open house to introduce you to the school, the courses we offer, and its wonderful faculty to you, the prospective students. Today's open house is particularly special because we are taking today to celebrate women in Hollywood, specifically professional working women in Hollywood who also happen to be part of our incredible faculty. You will get to learn today about the courses we offer, some of the study abroad programs we have. You get to meet some of our wonderful working faculty members and learn more about the professional opportunities we offer at TOA. In case you want to learn more, or in case I miss anything in this open house, please make sure to visit our website at www.toa.edu. And our website does a really great job of reviewing what will be covered here today. After today's open house, we will have an open question and answer session, so you can ask anything about the courses, admission process, tuition, or ask anything from one of our specific faculty members that you will meet here today. Today is also really great because I'm excited to announce that we are offering a $500 scholarship to those who attend our open house today. So that means if you apply, get in and attend, you will receive that $500, which can be applied to your tuition, to your books, etc., whatever you need. Before you meet our faculty, we have a video introduction of Theater of Arts. Take it away, Reese. Thank you, Reese. You're going to hear me say that a lot. Reese is actually the man that's operating all the video for us. He happened to be one of our students at TOA and an alum, and has since come back to help support Theater of Arts in many ways, including some of the wonderful video footage you're seeing. So if I haven't taken the time to introduce myself, I'm Roshni. I'm your host today for this open house. I am a movement instructor here at TOA. And as you can see from the video, we offer a really wonderful wide range in classes. Theater of Arts has a rich history, having been around since 1927, and it is one of the longest standing acting conservatory programs in LA. We prep our students for a professional career in stage, cinema, and television. And through the beginning years of TOA, many iconic classic Hollywood and theater stars have either studied here or actually been a part of its organization and its leadership. That includes actors such as Marilyn Monroe, Ingrid Bergman, James Dean, Clint Eastwood, Michael Chekhov, who was a Russian-American actor, director, author, led the helm of this school for many years and sort of gave it its long-standing history of being one of the more premier acting studios in Los Angeles. Chekhov was a student of the legendary Konstantin Stanislavski. Although TOA has a long-standing history, it is still very fiercely modern. I think you will see that reflected in our faculty and the opportunities we offer, as well as the courses we offer. Although Theater of Arts offers very many traditional courses, as you can expect out of any two-year conservatory, such as voice, movement, and acting fundamentals, we also prepare the actor for a contemporary career by giving classes in motion capture, voiceover, and on-camera acting. We are a trimester-based system, meaning that we have a semester or trimester or semester in spring, summer, and fall. And one of the amazing things about TOA is where we are located, which is in the heart of Los Angeles and Hollywood. We have access to many professional working heavy hitters in the industry. Our school offers industry spotlights where our students get to meet and converse with working professionals. Some of the past guests we had have been Alfred Molina, London Brown, Ray Seahorn, just to name a few. This allows our students access to, like I said, working professionals for you to get to know more about how they got to where they are and develop that community for yourselves. We also have professional opportunities for our students with internships with companies like Universal and Jim Henson. And when you leave Theater of Arts, you leave not only with a wonderful education, you leave with a demo reel, a mocap reel, and a night at the Comedy Store. You do get your own set at the Comedy Store. You also will receive a digital and in-person showcase by the time you end your time at TOA. So these are some of the wonderful opportunities we offer at Theater of Arts. And I know, this pandemic has sort of affected everyone, but we are online right now. However, we do plan to be back in person for this fall term. So that's really wonderful news for us. I'm going to begin to introduce some of our wonderful female faculty members here at Theater of Arts. To start, we have Claire Jacobs. She is the instructor for Acting 2 and Industry Prep. And along with being an instructor at TOA, she has a wonderful film and TV career. So without further ado, I am going to introduce to you Claire Jacobs.
Hi, thank you, Roshni. Hello, everybody. I'm Claire Jacobs, and I'm an acting teacher at TOA. I've been an actress ever since leaving college, which was in England, and I've been a teacher. I started while I was at college, teaching at the local university. I performed in lots of plays in England, in London's West End, including I'm Not Rappaport, directed by Daniel Sullivan and starred the late, great Paul Schofield and Howard Rollins. I also did lots of television shows there, which you may have seen on PBS. Reese is just showing now some of the shows that I was in. There's another one, I think. Yeah, All Creatures Go More. In LA, I've been in several movies, including the latest Marvel movie. And my TV work includes Raising Hope, Revenge, Mad Men, and Flash Forward. And I think, Reese, you're going to just show a little funny clip of Claire.
Yep, 1 second.
Okay.
Thank you so much for coming. This is actually our first time interviewing babysitters, but you came very highly recommended.
You're too kind. It's easy to be good when you love your work.
What we really need is...
We don't speak unless spoken to, child.
Have you set a date?
No.
Thank you. As Roshni mentioned, I'm the Acting 2 teacher. And in Acting 2, we work on contemporary scene study from contemporary plays, mostly post-2000. We don't just study one methodology here, we study lots of techniques, or most techniques. So we begin with Stanislavski and Strasberg and Stella Adler, and then we move on to Meisner and our very own Michael Chekhov, whom Roshni mentioned was the director of the school, and he coached Marilyn Monroe and Clint Eastwood. Chekhov brought to the table technique using physical expression, and he's most famously known for his psychological gesture. We also touched on more modern techniques such as Uta Hagen and Larry Moss. And we apply those techniques learned to the scene work where hopefully students discover their own way of working and do it by choosing what works for them. Here's a short clip, Reese, if you can show this. It's with our very own Reese from Acting 2 and Anaid.
Where were you for me?
I couldn't live with you.
Why? Because of fucking Tariq?
No, because I had a job to do. And you said you'd be okay without me.
Well, what was I supposed to say?
You told me to do what I had to do.
What a joke! I'll leave you with our trusty fixer. Tariq will take care of you. Hell, that's what we paid him for. $200 a day. You know what? Tell me something. Did you continue paying him even after you started fucking him? You know that terrible night when I got the call that you had been hurt and that he was dead? You know the first thought that ran through my head? I thought, oh, good. Now I get a chance to redeem myself from wimping out.
But you didn't wimp out.
I'll prove to Sarah how much she needs me and I'll show her. Isn't that fucked?
No.
You just gotten blown up and I'm sitting here thinking, oh, good. A second chance. Never did I think I'd be competing with a dead man.
Where are you going?
I gotta get
James?
out of here.
Thanks, Reese. So that's Acting 2. In industry prep, we prepare the students for the industry. We talk about agents and managers, casting directors, casting websites, everything to do with the industry. We also, as Roshni mentioned, we have the Spotlight series, and we do have agents and managers coming in for that, such as manager Versa Manos, who come and share their knowledge with the students and talk to them. And this is a clip of Versa Manos, who is a manager in LA.
Important part of what that process is, you know, of how you work together as a team, because in a way there's a lot of trust involved from both parties. And, you know, I think a lot of actors rush to get representation without really understanding who's repping them. Are they the right fit for you? Are they the right fit for you? Do they really understand you? You know, sometimes having a couple of, sometimes a couple of meetings or even a couple of phone calls, you know, following up, say, look, you know, I really want to talk to you again. I really liked our first meeting. Let's have another talk, or can I have another Zoom meeting with you? So that there's more than just this dialogue, this one-time dialogue that you have to decide on. And I think it will work, you know, for the agents and the managers as well. If you care enough, they will care enough as well. And if it's a good fit, both parties will be patient, you know. I always like to have long conversations, because I think we're going into this. I'm going to not be paid for the next 6 months for work. If you're, you know, a new actor, why should I give up hours of my day to actually teach you how to be a good actor? And then you suddenly go, well, you're not a right fit for me because you don't get me. And I go, well, how do you arrive at that place, you know? And then you feel bad because you've spent so much time trying to develop and build that client up, and it's difficult. There's a frustration with it, you know.
Yes. Thank you. Thanks, Reese. That was Versa explaining the relationship between her actors and being their manager. Okay, so that's me. And without further ado, I'm going to pass you back to Roshni.
Thank you so much, Claire. That was really wonderful. I wanted to kind of get into a little bit about the accreditation of TOA. We take our credentials very seriously here. We are an accredited school with NAST and BPPE. If you'd like to learn more about our accreditation, please visit our website at www.toa.edu. Also, we really appreciate, support, and respect our veterans here at Theater of Arts. Many of our students who have attended have been veterans, are veterans, and so we do accept the GI Bill and can work with you on any of those needs if you have. We will also get a little into financial aid towards the end of this open house, so feel free to ask any questions at that time about other financial programs that we offer here at TOA. Without further ado, I want to introduce you to one of our next faculty members who not only has a wonderful voice, she happens to be our head of voice, Nicolette Chaffee, who is our head of voice. She teaches voice 1, 2, and 4. Without further ado, Nicolette, please take it away.
Thank you very much, Roshni. I'd like to introduce myself. I'm Nicolette Chaffee, the chair of Voice and one of the voice teachers here at Theatre of Arts. I teach Voice 1 and 2, and then meet up again with the students in Voice 4. I refer to my class as the nuts and bolts of acting, because it doesn't matter how marvelous your performance is, if you don't have the technical knowledge to sustain that performance, your voice will suffer. It's a bit like building a house without concrete and rebar. It will not stand. I have, just to tell you a bit about myself, I've been in the movie and theatre business my whole life. I did a lot of TV shows as a child, worked in theatres and did movies and television in England. I studied voice with the Guildhall and then went on to the Royal Academy of Dramatic Art. I ended up in Los Angeles running with my partner a theatre for 35 years, producing and directing and working with stars of movies and television fame. Sandra Bullock, George Clooney, Jack Black, Bryan Cranston, John Hawkes, Trisha Heaton, Leslie Jordan. And one of the final shows we did before we closed the theater was One Night in Miami, which I believe, which went from our theater over to the Donmar Warehouse, I believe, and then was going to transfer to Broadway, but got picked up as a movie, which was up for the Oscar just this last year. Okay, I was also the voice coach on The Parent Trap with Lindsay Lohan. Yep, Lindsay, very, very much younger. Okay, back to Theatre of Arts. I use the Cecily Berry technique. She was the resident voice teacher for the National and the Royal Shakespeare Company. Now, that does not mean that you're going to get come away from my class with an English accent. We can do that in Voice 4 if that's what you want. What it does mean is that you learn how to make your particular foibles and possible accents fall away, and you respond to the text rather than forcing the text to sound like you. It's like a costume. You don't wear your own clothes to perform. You wear what the character would wear. It's the same with voice. You sound as the character would sound. In Voice 2, I refer to that as the voice in action. In other words, you perform pieces on camera that are well suited to you so that you get to put into action all that you learnt in Voice 1. In Voice 4, we work on accents, at least 3 specifically, and then you get to choose that particular accent you've always wanted to do. The fun part of voice. I think Garrett has a clip, Reese has a clip for us from Garrett working.
You have no right to call me murderer. You have a right to kill me, you have a right to do that, but you have no right to judge me. It's impossible. Words to describe what is necessary for those who do not know what horror means. Horror has face. You must make friend of horror. Horror and mortal terror are your friends. If they are not, then they are enemies to be feared. We went into the camp to inoculate the children. We left the camp after we had inoculated the children for polio. Then this old man came, running after us, and he was crying. We went back there. They had come, and they had hacked off every inoculated arm. There they were, in a pile of little arms. And I remember I cried. I wept like grandmother. I wanted to tear my teeth out. I don't know what I wanted to do.
Reese actually is one of our military students. I believe he came to us via the military after he finished serving. So, and he's as American as you could hope to be. Okay, so I hope this introduces you to both me and Voice, and we get to work together someday. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Nicolette. I wanted to talk a little bit about our international students. We do allow and accept international students on an F1 visa, in which you would receive a 2-year visa with an additional year of optional practical training, so total 3 years. We also have study abroad programs at Theater of Arts, which is so exciting. We just announced a student exchange program with Italy's Florestano Vancini School of Cinematic Arts. In fact, we have a couple students going at the end of this school year. So those are some really unique opportunities that we offer at Theater of Arts that is specific to our school. Now, I like to think that our entire faculty of women are Wonder Women. However, our next faculty member happens to be the voice of Wonder Woman in the Justice League video games. Rachel Kimsey is our voiceover acting instructor. So Rachel, if you'd like to take it away.
Hey guys. So I have the privilege of playing Wonder Woman in this cartoon, Justice League Action, available for your viewing pleasure all over the internet. I believe we're on Hulu now. And getting to teach voice at Theater of Arts is such a joy for me. I've worked in theater, in film, in television. I did soap operas, I did primetime TV, I've done stunt work in America and in Southeast Asia. And the work that I get to do as a voice actor is some of the most creative, rewarding, exciting work that I have gotten to do in my entire career. And part of that is because you are not limited as a performer by this package, by your height or your weight or your skin color or your gender. And to get to just let all of the acting techniques that I've built over a lifetime and a career really come to fruition has been such a joy and a delight, and it makes all the difference in the world. It's an incredibly creative place to work, and it's the greatest longevity that is possible in a career. I have friends whose children started doing voice work at 3 years old, and June Foray won an Emmy for her work in animation at 92. The breadth of work and the breadth of voices and talent and lived experience that they're looking for is so diverse, because we're also not even limited to human performances. We're looking for animals and aliens and robots and superheroes and villains, and voice acting is a bigger category than you think. A lot of people think of it as just video games and cartoons, and I love video games and cartoons. Reese, could you show us a little bit of Call of Duty?
What the hell? Who's shooting?
You guys okay back there?
Agent Kane? I thought I told you to stay up top.
Seemed like you could use some help. Besides, you two made so much noise, every 54i foot soldier's gonna be scrambling to respond. We need to get back on track. We've got to shut down their comms before they figure out what the fuck's going on. Follow me.
After you.
Thank you, Reese. I love video games. I love getting to play them. I love getting to be in them. The thing that's exciting about that was Call of Duty Black Ops 3, is that was all of my acting training crammed into one place. That was motion capture, it was voice work, it was on camera. I got that job because I had trained in stunts, because I had done physical acting and theater acting, which is incredibly transferable to motion capture. You'll get to train in that. And because I'd trained my voice, so I was able to have control over my sound and my timbre and my tone, and I was able to step into the full power of that role as the character who was running the op in Black Ops. I also got to have that actor bucket list moment where I got to play a character named Rachel, and my name is Rachel. I was like, that's it, I'm done. I've done everything there is to do. But it's not just video games, right? Every time you hear someone talking to you, that's a voice actor. In podcasts, in audiobooks, in commercials, at the airport, when you call a phone line and somebody tells you, please wait, press 2 to get to this other person you want to talk, that's a voice actor. There's so much work out there that you haven't even thought of yet. And all of that goes to support all of your other acting work. So you get to be an actor every single day. And that is one of the huge joys of having voice acting as part of your acting career. For a long time, it was one piece of my career. And right now I'm enjoying it so much. It's pretty much my whole career because it fits into my life and my family and my lifestyle. And it's now the thing that I like to do the most. Reese, can you throw up a little McDonald's for us just for a second? You can let it just play in the background if you'd like. These things are available to us over the course of our entire career. But it takes training and it takes practice. Now you can see in this commercial, we've got a mom, we've got a kid, we've got a dad in the back.
We've got a routine. Get a morning made just for you. There's
You've got the hands pouring coffee. You've got somebody handing over that Egg McMuffin. You've got somebody in that window. That's at least 6 SAG actors in that commercial. Now, here's the fun part about being a voice actor. I love that commercial, proud of that commercial. Those actors all got paid for that day on set. And then they also get paid residuals because it's a union commercial. And that means you get paid a little bit of money every time it airs. As the voice actor in that commercial, I got paid to record that commercial. And I get paid a little bit every time it airs. And I get paid again when I have to do a new price for Hawaii. And I get paid again when I do a new price for Alaska. And I get paid again when it's a different price for the summer. And I get paid again when they change the price for a special promotion in Philadelphia. It's all acting. And there are opportunities out there to be a steady working actor who feels fulfilled and creative in lots more avenues than I ever thought of when I first dreamed of doing Shakespeare in the Park for the rest of my life. But when I was 4, I saw Wonder Woman for the first time. And the first thing I ever dreamed of being was Wonder Woman. And now that's something I actually get to do. I have an action figure, you guys. How cool is that? Like that's a thing I never thought would happen. Reese, can you show us a little Justice League?
Can we just skip to the part where I thrashed you all? I'm gonna take that as a no. In a world of ordinary men, I am Wonder Woman. I kind of like that. No kidding. When we heard there was a break-in at the watchtower, who expected the invaders to be toys?
All right, let's go ahead and bring that sound down, Reese. So that's a thing that I get to do now. That's just a thing that's been a part of my life. You know, you can't always plan on getting to grow up and be the hero that you always wanted to, but you never know when a lifetime of work and preparation will come together and make that possible. The things that we cover in our class are animation, interactive, which is the term for the video game segment. That's much broader than we usually realize. We cover commercials, we cover narration, we cover audiobooks, which is a place where you can start working right away. We cover promos, the coming up next on Fox. That's a voice actor, that's somebody's job. The narration that goes underneath true crime shows and over the top of nature shows, right? These are all jobs for voice actors. We cover all of these in our class. And we talk about the technology that you're gonna need to begin this portion of your career and how you can do it affordably to begin, because it doesn't have to be a huge barrier to get started. In fact, a lot of the tools that you'll need for all of your other classes will play right into this. We're going to talk about how your training in script analysis is so important to your voice acting career. So pay attention to script analysis, not just for when you're doing plays. The work that you're going to do with Nicolette on your voice and that training and support and control. The work with Roshni on using your body, because yes, you still use your body when you're standing behind a microphone. Acting. It all comes down to acting. It's not about doing funny voices. It's about coming down to good, grounded, strong acting choices. All of these things, all the training you're going to get supports this medium as well. And this medium supports all the rest of your acting work. I can't wait to go on this journey with you and help you see that there's so much more available to you as an actor or performer, or if you're interested in the other side as an engineer and a designer. There's so much about this work that's a part of a creative career that's available to you. And we're gonna help open those doors. And then if you stick around long enough, you'll also get a chance to try it a little motion capture, a little run and gun and play on a volume, but we'll get to that. We'll get to that. Really looking forward to working with you, to training with you, to seeing this part of your creative vision expand and grow. And being trained at Theater of Arts puts you ahead of people who haven't stopped to think about, how can I make this a part of my work and my career? And I'm excited to join you guys for it. See you there, maybe in the fall.
Thank you so much, Rachel. I think Rachel did a really great job of showing all the ways that you can be an actor, not just the ways that we think of. That TOA really opens doors and possibilities to explore all of the ways that you can be an actor, as Rachel articulated. One of the wonderful things at being at TOA is that you get access to faculty members who are actually working in the industry while you are working with them. And I think that's wonderful access, that it's not just teachers, but they're teachers who are actually actively doing the thing that they are instructing you on, which is, again, a very unique thing here at Theater of Arts. Our next instructor is Les Miller. She is our on-camera scene study instructor and cinema instructor. She's been phenomenal behind the camera as a director and has been on many high-profile sets. So without further ado, Ms. Les Miller.
Well, hi there, everybody. Thank you for spending some of your Saturday with us. We really appreciate it. I'm Les Miller, and I am the on-camera scene study instructor, as you can see. Ready for on camera, everybody. In my class, we build on everything that you've learned in your first and your second term, your acting technique classes, your voice and speech, all of the movement, and we put it together for film. In your second term, you have a fundamentals class, which teaches you how things run on the film set. So you know what the terminology is, you know what every person is doing on the set, all of the different jobs, and you actually work on making a project yourself in that class, like a first little short film that you're acting in, that you're directing, you're shooting, you're finding the locations, you're doing everything. So it sets you up for my class, which is specifically for performance on the camera. So in my class, you really learn how to repeat performance from take to take to take, and moving the camera around. So you really get the experience of what it's like on a film set, film and television. We shoot monologues, we shoot two-person scenes, we write things in our class that you're going to shoot later for your final. So one of the things that we do in my class is really pay attention to learning how to create your own content, because now in the industry, with social media, whether it's Instagram or putting things on YouTube, having your own web series. Actors really need to learn more about production, not just about acting. They need to learn how to write for themselves, how to shoot things for themselves, how to create all kinds of different content that they can post and get people to watch and build their fan base. It's really important for the industry that you start to build a brand for yourself. And in the industry prep class that you get with Claire, you'll learn more about that. It's very important. So it starts in my class where we start to learn how to write scenes for ourselves and shoot them. And that will culminate as you go on later in the second year in the new media class, where you'll be working on writing a script for yourself that you will then shoot in your sixth term, which will be your show reel. It's really important. It's going to be like your calling card, things that you shoot that you'll put out there that casting directors will see and managers will see and agents will see, and they'll think, oh my God, they're so talented, and you wrote that material yourself. So it's really important you start thinking about material for yourself, and we write it in my class and we shoot it. And it kicks off the training that we have at TOA in learning how to create content for yourself. I've worked on a lot of different sets, big Hollywood movies, little low budget things, television. I've worked with lots of major movie stars and up and coming stars. And I can tell you that this is all the work that they have done. People that you think of now, big stars, they've all done this work. They've all done the script analysis. They've all had these technique classes, movement, voice, and speech, and working on camera. So it will culminate together and you'll see how it all works. And I look forward to seeing you all in my class. Take it away, Roshni. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Les. The last instructor I will be introducing to you is me, Roshni. I am the movement instructor at TOA. A little bit about myself before I get into what we study in movement. I have my MFA, Master of Fine Arts in Theater. I've also studied abroad at different universities in the UK and Japan. I started my career at 15 working in the regional theater circuit. Some of the major theaters I've worked with in the US include the Guthrie in Minneapolis and the Brooklyn Academy of Music in New York. But I have also worked in cities like Toronto and in the UK as well as Japan. My background is a physical approach to acting. And you in movement will get to learn two forms of movement. The first being the Suzuki method of actor training, which comes from Tadashi Suzuki, who is a world-renowned theater director from Japan. That form of movement really teaches a discipline and rigor that I think is very important to have as an actor. I assume if you are interested in attending acting school, that you desire some form of discipline and rigor in the work. And that is something you will learn on a physical level in the Suzuki method of actor training. The Suzuki method of actor training is specifically designed for the actor and is holistic. It addresses not only issues with the body, but also the voice, how you're breathing, your focus, and stillness. All of these things can apply to all of the other instructors' work that you've heard from before, in Rachel's voice acting class and in Nicolette's voice class, stillness when working on on-camera scene study with Les, and focus with working with, Claire in your acting 2 class. So it is a very holistic approach to the actor and looks at the actor as a whole. The second form of movement approach that you will learn in my class is viewpoints, which if Suzuki is rigor and discipline, viewpoints is a little bit more asking the question of all the possibilities of what a thing could be when approaching a scene. So a little bit more fluid, a little bit more open. Two opposite ends of the spectrum, but they pair very well with each other. Viewpoints hails from dance choreographer, American dance choreographer Mary Overly, who just unfortunately recently passed away, and world-renowned American theater director Anne Bogart. It is rooted in modern dance, but we examine through that how we can tell story using the body. Setting a specific set of vocabulary, you begin to pull apart how physical awareness and your physicality tells a story in and of itself. What you were just seeing is some footage from Eurydice, which is a play that I directed at TOA. When you come to TOA, you are encouraged to audition for some of the school productions, and that happened to be one of them, in which we use those methodologies in training before looking at the material. So those are the two methods that you will learn in movement. Just wanted to remind you, if you are interested in applying to Theater of Arts, there is a $500 scholarship for just attending this open house that you can receive by applying and getting in. Also, if I missed anything or you have any other questions, you can also visit the website, which does a really wonderful, thorough job of answering everything that we have covered today and more. It's www.toa.edu. We do have a Q&A after, so if you have any questions, please type them in the chat. We'll take a look at them towards the end. And I have one more person to introduce to you who will be able to answer any questions for you regarding tuition, fees, financial aid, and that is our lovely Norma Sellis, our Senior Financial Aid Officer. Welcome, Norma. Norma, you there? Ah, there she is.
Sorry, having technical difficulties. Well, welcome. Thank you. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, we can, Norma.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Okay, my name is Norma Sellis. I am the Financial Aid Officer at Theater of Arts. We offer financial aid for those that qualify. We offer Pell Grant, which is a free funding from the government that you don't have to pay back. In addition to that, we're also offering Cal Grant. We're new to Cal Grant. Most of our students that apply for Pell Grant can also apply for Cal Grant A and B. It's additional free money that you don't have to pay, so please take advantage of that. We also offer student loans, which is a subsidized and unsubsidized. These loans are directly from the government as well. You do pay these back, but you pay them 6 months after you're done with the program. So that's a way of the government assisting you by giving you, that time to pay it off. And not to worry about it while you're in school, but once you're done with the program, then you can start making monthly payments on that. For our dependent students, we have the Parent Plus loan, and that's in addition to whatever the Pell Grant or the free money doesn't cover, then that's when the parent loan comes along and helps most of our dependent students to cover that as well. As Roshni stated, we have aid for our military students. It's also for families as well. We do accept Chapter 30, Chapter 31, Chapter 33, which is our most common one, which is the post 9/11. Chapter 35 for survivors and dependent students. If I miss anything, you can write down your question in the Q&A. We'll be more than happy to answer that. Thank you. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you so much, Norma. And now we move on to our question and answer period. So if there's any questions that you might have about anything that we covered, or if you have a specific question for an instructor, please feel free to type in the chat and we'll kind of review it. Great. Okay, this is from Anahit. I am from Armenia. I have my bachelor's completed and have studied in acting schools. I think I would like to apply for associate program. I'd like to know more about the financial aid, scholarships, and if we can work while we study to cover our expenses. Norma, I'll pass that question to you. Anahit would like to know more about the financial aid process, scholarships, and if they can work while they study to cover their expenses.
Okay, because she has a bachelor's degree, she might not be eligible for any Pell Grant, but she might be eligible for student loans. So the first thing that I would advise her to do is complete the FAFSA, and then speak to one of our admissions representatives so they can connect us, and then we can start helping them based on the FAFSA information.
Wonderful. Thank you, Norma. Wonderful. The next question is from a Miss Hall. Hello there. It was amazing to meet all of you. I'd like to know if there would be any evening classes available due to working first shift. Right now, we are working, I believe, let's see, we are working towards offering more classes, not beyond just what is the traditional 2-year conservatory. But as of right now, we have the 2-year conservatory structured as is. But in terms of night classes, we are working towards offering more studio-based courses, which aren't related to the 2-year conservatory, that would be offered in the evening as well. I also have a little bit more information coming up just in a moment. Evening classes will be built in 2022, so I just received that confirmation. I would check our website more consistently to see if any updates in that structure. Go ahead, Norma, if you have anything to add, that'd be great. Wonderful. Wonderful. Also, if you all can turn on your camera to join, that'd be great, so the panelists can all see you. Another question just came in. I don't have any experience in acting, so how can TOA help me? Who can I talk to about this? And I don't want to waste any money. I understand that coming to acting school is a huge investment. So I'm going to send this question to both Kathleen, who is an alum, and then also to Claire, who is our Acting 2 instructor, to answer. They want to know how that they don't have any experience in acting, so how can TOA help them? Kathleen, you're muted, my friend.
Whoops, I don't know, I never learned my lesson there, but anyways. So when I started TOA, I only had like a very little acting experience. I was taking acting classes at in San Jose before I moved to LA. But when you join TOA, it doesn't really matter exactly where you are experience-wise, because each term is designed to help you like along the way and help you become a more well-rounded actor, no matter like what level you're at. And like each teacher will assess where you're at with your skill and help you along the way. And I think that's the great thing. And it was really a joy to watch myself and my classmates grow along the way through all 6 terms.
Wonderful. Claire, do you have anything to add?
Not really. I mean, Kathleen said it really. I mean, a lot of students who arrive at TOA have not had any experience. Some have, some haven't. And as Kathleen said, you know, it's the classes are small and we, you know, give a lot of individual attention. So if you have problems, the teachers are there to help. And, you know, you just work your way through the course.
Thank you.
I would say if I can add like one little thing as an alumni, it's really like a personal journey, and it's wonderful to see when you graduate to look back on where you came from and to grow on from there.
And I just want to say too, everybody started their training the day they started their training. Nobody has any training until they start training. So if you want to get into a class locally where you are, so you've gotten that first day out of the way before you start with us, great. If not, everybody had their first day someplace. Why not have it in a place where you're supported by people who have the training and the background and the breadth of experience to bring you along with other people who are there?
Thank you, Rachel. The next question is, how big is your student body? All of our class sizes range from about 5 to 15, so really intimate setting. Really, really intimate setting. Our classes, that's something we also pride ourselves in. It really truly is focused on the student and the individual. So you get a lot of attention and time with the instructor. So our class sizes are fairly on the smaller side they range anywhere from 5 to 15 students in each class. Do we help students get representation? As I said sort of at the beginning of the open house, one of the things you walk away from at TOA is a demo reel, motion caption reel, night at the Comedy Store, but also you get a digital and in-person showcase. So you get one that you can share that gets circulated among agents and managers in LA, but you also get an in-person showcase. Claire, who teaches the industry prep class, do you have anything else to add in terms of what do students get in terms of that kind of professional exposure?
Yes, we help them target certain agents and managers for when they're about to leave, and obviously all of those people are invited to the showcase. A lot of the staff and myself have connections with agents and managers who come into the spotlight evenings and talk to the students and meet students. And one of them, for example, has just taken on 2 of our students from the last showcase. She met them when she came to the spotlight, liked them, and saw the showcase and has taken them on.
A couple of other questions. Do you offer housing options? And we do. We deal with Upstart and co-living. And if you have any need further assistance in terms of housing, you can reach out to the school when you get accepted, and we'll be able to make those connections for you. Also, in terms of transfer, I see a question on, can I transfer credits from another school to yours? Unfortunately, credits are not transferable for our program. A part of that is because of the way that our 2-year conservatory is set up for you to take the classes as they are set up for you, right? A progression. Voice 1, Voice 2, Voice 3, Voice 4, Acting 1, Acting 2, Acting 3, Acting 4. So, and we treat our students as cohorts, as ensemble. So the nice thing is that the class that you start with is hopefully the class that you graduate with. And so they become like your ensemble, which if you work in professional theater, that is the sense of ensemble is something we like to replicate in our cohorts that graduate. Great. Awesome. So Reese is throwing up the student housing page on our website that can offer even more specific answers in terms of some of the options we offer for our students. What acting theories and techniques do you teach? Great. Claire and Les, I'll let you both answer these since I know you both have some form of acting classes.
Go ahead, start first.
Okay. Well, I did mention that we touch on all techniques. We begin with Stanislavski, we go through Strasberg and Stella Adler, and then we touch on Michael Chekhov, Jutta Hagen, viewpoints and
Suzuki.
Thank you.
Suzuki.
Roshni teaches in movement. So you do get a very broad selection of techniques, which we believe is better than just being taught one. Les?
Okay, so for those of you that don't know the people that we're referencing, the names of these people, it might help you to know that Lee Strasberg trained Al Pacino. Stella Adler trained Robert De Niro. So these are the techniques that you will be getting. I myself trained with Stella Adler and Uta Hagen, and also Sidney Kay from the Neighborhood Playhouse. So you're getting basically the very best technique training that the American schools of theater have to bear. And the world changed when Stanislavski gave his gift of actually putting what he was doing in the Russian theater to words, and then it translated to the United States and the rest of the world. The group theater brought it, Stella brought it, Strasberg brought it, Sandy Meisner brought it. So these people who are the most seminal instructors who built the technique that we all use now pretty much across the world is what you're getting at Theater of Arts. So you're not getting a little bit of this and a little bit of that, you're getting everything. So by the time you graduate, you'll know what you need to know. You'll be able to work in different ways that works for you best. And that's what you'll gain. Yeah.
Wonderful. Well, if there aren't any more questions, I just want to review, there is a $500 scholarship for anyone that attended today's open house that'd like to apply and gets accepted into the program. If you have any further questions on housing, there's also a link in the chat, which is the www.toa.edu/housing. That will offer any further questions, offer any other further answers for your questions regarding housing. If you're interested in applying, please know what you need to apply is 2 monologues, a comedy and a drama. And of course, just reach out to us. The website, there it is on our, Reese is sharing it, how to apply. The summer deadline is July 5th. That is for fall entry. And if you have any other questions, feel free to reach out to us. Thank you so much for joining us for this open house celebrating women in Hollywood.